Last week I told you about Mike, the trainer that I worked with when I became a mall Santa, and how just before he left me, he told me that his special guests were going to be coming to see me. This week I'm going to tell you about those special guests.
The story of my life.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Felix and this is the story of my life. And in 1988, I became a mall Santa. And I told you that whole story in my previous video. And I told you how Mike, the guy who trained me, said just before I never heard from him again that I was going to see his special guests at some point, probably near the end of the season. That's what Mike told me. And then I never heard from Mike again. So it was getting near the end of the season and I had become pretty much the primary Santa at this mall. You might remember that I talked about the 3 other guys that were training with me. 2 of them were gone. And I was pretty much doing double shifts every time, opening and closing. So it was maybe December 22nd. So we were closing the following day permanently for that season. And there I'm sitting there, it's like 8:30 at night, and we close at 9. And I have my 3 elves there with me, and we're just kind of hanging out and just chit-chatting. There was like nobody in the mall. The place was empty. And then I look kind of down the mall and I see these 2 people that are walking in the general direction of the Santa Kingdom. And they were noteworthy because the man was probably 6'6", 6'7", and built like a mountain. He was a walking mountain. Long, dark beard, long hair past his shoulders, long black trench coat. You could look at this guy from 6 miles out and say, there's a biker. And on his arm was a petite young lady, rather attractive, also wearing a long black trench coat. Maybe all of 5 foot, 5'2". And just looking at them, you could tell she was in charge. But they were coming at me. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I hope he's not going to come try to sit on my lap. Ha ha ha. They actually approach the Santa setup. My elves immediately jump into action. One of those elves had worked there previously and had worked with Mike. And she turned to me and said, well, here they are, which immediately told me these were Mike's special guests. In this nearly closed mall, total silence. I mean, it was almost eerie. It was almost in 1988, like the malls are today. A lot of the malls are today, empty and devoid of people. But there was me, my 3 elves, and these 2 people who came up, walked right up to me. There was no line. And said, the man who I had to look way up there to see says to me, I gotta take her every year to come see Santa. And she proceeded to take off her trench coat. Under the aforementioned trench coat was lingerie, black lingerie, that was, for all intents and purposes, see-through. Now, I may have been sitting there portraying a hundreds-of-year-old man, but under the suit was a 28-year-old. She came and she sat on my lap. This highly attractive young woman. And we immediately gave a new definition to the term North Pole. But my elves did their job, got her pictures, And afterward, he said to me, "I bet you were scared I was going to sit on your lap, huh?" I said, yeah, actually I was. He said, "You going to be here next year?" I said, "I have no idea." He said, "Well, if you are, we're coming to see you." Okay. He thanked me, shook my hand, she thanked me, and had put her trench coat back on. Shook my hand, and off they went. And my elf kind of topped off the whole experience by telling me, "Hey, for those shots, Santa didn't need any blush." And that was Mike's special guests. The following year, I was not at the Smith Haven Mall, I was at Walt Whitman Mall. And these people found me. I'm going to talk about some of my experiences in the ensuing years in my next video. Until then, I'm Felix Gomes, and this is the story of my life.